I mean, didn't you cut your hair and it grew back already? That's what I want to know.
It did, girl. It grew back. It grew back really fast, though, right?
I mean, it always does. We have so much like anxiety over, well, it's not going to grow back ever, and it like,
I will say, I think some people have that gene where it grows faster than others. You know what I mean? Because I got some friends who cut their hair and they're still waiting on it to grow back.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
girl, the pandemic. I was like, my hair was down. I was like, do I look like a wildebeest? Like, what the fuck?
You know what's funny is did you straighten your hair?
I did a little wet set.
Girl, if
Still,
I did a wet set, baby, this
little
hair right
Dominican.
here, honey, ain't no
Little
Dominican over here. This all African. If I wet set this, baby,
No, no, no,
it'll
no,
be a
no, 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 no,
problem.
no. Don't you dare try to put that narrative out there. You and I have the same hair. If you put in a fucking Dominican wet set, your hair would be just like this. Don't play. Look at
You're
how your hair
right. You
is.
girl, the curly girls. Can I just say, for the longest, people would confuse me with you because of my hair.
That's
They were like,
hilarious.
"Oh, I saw you on TV." I said, "No, ma'am, you did not." And if you did, what did you see?
Actually, we're triplets. The third person would be free from BET.
I
Yes,
get that
yes.
all the time, to the point where I actually went live with her one time to say people call us twins all the
We're
time.
not the same
We are
person.
not the same person at all. At all. Lena, can you close the door? So first of all, let me just say, everybody wants to know, like, what are we talking about? What is this about? Let me tell you what this is about for me. So I know, and I'm sure you know, that March is Women's Month, right? National Women's Month. And so we all know about, celebrating women and the wonderful achievements and accomplishments and all of that. But I wanted to bring it down to a more elementary level. Like, I just wanted to celebrate the women that I've met over the course of my career, people that I see on social media that maybe I don't know, that I think fucking rock. And you are on that list.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm just saying, I know, most people are like, yeah, but, we already know she rocks. We see her everywhere. I remember one time, I don't think I could turn a channel on TV that you weren't on or had not rocked. I was like, let me tell you something. So
Woo.
I will say it's really weird to see that you're not on TV. I don't see you on TV as much as I used to.
I get that a lot. I get that a lot, and it's harder for other people than it is for me. I
In what
feel like,
way?
well, I think this industry. I think that when you've been in this industry for 20 some years, you start to realize patterns, and you start to also grow up and go, does this matter?
Mm,
Does this matter that
yeah.
I'm interviewing celebrities every day? For me, the only way I got through the last 2 years was to make my own narrative louder, right? My own intentions louder. So I would ask questions they didn't want me to ask, and I would make it so good they had to put it on the air. I'd always try to highlight us because I
Yeah.
love us so much. And I always went out of my way. I mean, I think the best story I can tell is Grammys 2019. Nobody's interviewing Nipsey and Lauren. They look beautiful, lots of pictures. And I'm like, come here. Come beautiful. Come
Yes. Bring that gorgeous blackness over this way.
bring the excellence over here. And had this incredible interview with them. My network wasn't going to show it. They weren't going to air it because who fucking cares about Nipsey and Lauren?
Mm-hmm.
Their mindset. And then he passes away.
Oh,
And I am in Jamaica on vacation, and I call them from the second I heard, find that tape, put it on the air. How dare you?
yeah.
Um, and it was a fight. But then they're like, oh, we got this guy that they never heard of. Oh, good, we got some stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
never, my cameraman tried to stop taping when I was
Are you
recording.
kidding?
Oh, there's somebody else some country star that I didn't know. I didn't give a fuck about. Can I
Right.
cuss?
No, girl, please. I cuss all the time. Stop.
But I
I'm a
mean,
cussing
that
girl.
girl, it's lit. That's the kind of mentality that got really, really old for me.
Well,
And
you
then
know
it
what?
was,
Can I say, I want to stop you right there because I want you to expound on that. That was one of the reasons why you were on my list, is because I know that, you know, as a Black woman, period, first of all, but certainly a Black woman in any type of entertainment industry, just the amount, what most people don't see, they think, oh, it's awesome. And it is. Don't get it twisted. I know we're not cleaning toilets and making beds, but when I tell you the shit you got to go through, the disrespect, what is the most disrespectful thing that has happened to you? I know you got to think, because I'm sure it's a lot of them, because Lord knows I know I got a lot. So I know you got a lot.
there's so much. In a simple one, I dyed my hair brown. I was just going through, I was bored. I get bored. You get bored with your hair, right? We just want to do something different.
I know where this is going.
Well, Tanika, what's wrong with your hair? I just want it darker. You need to lighten your face up a little bit. We need you to have blonde to lighten your face up. And I was like, well, first of all, what does that mean? Right? Second of all, what I know to be true is that there could be three of us, because I was co-hosting the show with Mario Lopez, Renee, damn, I don't remember the girl's name. And the three of us were co-hosting Extra for 2 years. And they light it for the majority.
Ah,
so, right? They don't have multiple lights. We're outside. Even if we were in a studio, no, there's no thought in the world. Let's make sure Tanika's lighting's good and she looks
right.
flowy, browned, and bronzy
Yes.
and beautiful. There's not an ounce of an intention to do that. So they light us based on the majority, which is a white girl and a Latino guy. So they get the light based on them, and I just gotta look muddy.
Mm-hmm.
And for my boss to scream at me and be like, we gotta lighten up that face a little. It was so deeply insulting. She didn't even understand it.
Mm.
And if you just took a little bit more effort and maybe just a flex fill,
Yeah,
and my face would light up.
yeah, it's so funny. I don't, you know, and I get it. You know, it sounds like, you know, we're privileged in some ways, but complain. But it means a lot, because you understand that that image of you will decide whether you get another gig. It will decide whether people like you or what they think of you, or, you know, even when you see it back to yourself, the damage that it can cause. I remember one time when I was doing radio in Nashville, and I was wearing two hats, as you often do in this particular industry. I was doing mornings, but I was also the head of marketing and promotions, and I had a sales meeting that day. And so, you know, the big thing was the Bantu knots. And I had never done that. And I was, you know, really trying to get away from the curly hair. I wanted to do something different. So I thought, you know, I've never done Bantu knots, but I'm going to do it. And so I put the little Bantu knots over my head. I thought I looked gorgeous.
Honey,
you couldn't tell me shit. I
you
put
were
my
killing it.
hoops on, honey, made sure my outfit was dope. I was like, I'm going to get in
Yes.
here and blow this bitch up. When I walked through the door, my market manager was like, oh my God, what happened to your hair? I was like, oh, what do you mean? He's like, something's wrong with it. I was like, there's nothing wrong with my hair. Because he was accustomed to seeing it, you know, curly and long. And, you know, I had wrapped it. And he was like, before you go into that meeting, you need to go fix that. And I was like, are you kidding me?
Black guy, white guy,
White guy, no Black market managers at that time, right? And he was like, and I was like, I'm not going to go take my hair down. He said, if you don't take your hair down, you cannot come into this meeting.
The audacity.
So here I am in the bathroom, and I don't have to tell you, as a sister curly girl, you know, once you manipulate the curls in a particular way, you fuck around if you want to. They have their own language, that love language. I took my hair down. I looked a hot ass mess. And there I was in front of all these white people trying to give a presentation, and my hair looked a hot ass mess. I was mad. I was embarrassed. So when you say,
that's the thing, because what you're mad at is some of that is you're mad at yourself for listening to this fool, to have to alter yourself in any way to be deemed appropriate.
It is. But unfortunately, there was no such thing as a Crown Act back then, because this was like the 90s. All they knew was, we want the whatever that was, how it was before yesterday, we want that. And so when you talk about it being easy to leave, the industry. What was your greatest fear? Because did you know what you were going to do? Because I honestly, I'll get real. I don't give a shit. Me and you cool. Now, first of all, let me say this. I'm mad that it's been years and I haven't seen your face. The last time I saw your face, like in person, we was throwing back some mimosas, having a good old time. I was like, girl, we got to start doing brunch more often. And then
I think the pandy happened, right?
it could
I
have
invited you
been.
to a screening of Roxanne.
You
That was the
did.
last time I saw you.
That was the last time you saw me.
And then we
And then
got
the
busy
pandemic. And
in the pandemic. It just is what it's just life, man. Be lifing like a mother.
so what were you thinking life was going to be like when you left TV?
You know what, Jasmine? I know that I'm a unicorn in this business. And the fact that I do not let the reality of things hinder what is so deeply rooted in my core. I knew that I had done that chapter. I'd done it. I interviewed everybody on red carpets 3,000-4,000 times. And I love the access and I love being able to bring people's authenticity out. But the show that I was on didn't care. They just wanted the same thing. What you're wearing, who you fucking, what's your project. And the interesting part of the interview never saw the light of day. And I'm like, I can keep being a mouthpiece for a show that I wouldn't even watch. Or I can just say, God, what do you have in store for me? And now, mind you, I'm one of those people that's real comfortable in the in-betweens. I just am. Now, if you want to get to the technicality, like how do I pay my bills? Well, I'll be running that pole, girl. No, I'm just kidding.
Get it, girl. Get it, girl. Listen, play around if you want to, but the one thing I do know about you, you invited me to a class one time. Yeah. And I went. And I was like, damn, Tanika got moves. I'm gonna move too. I mean, now you could dance. And that's the one thing I like about you saying that you're a unicorn. It's true. And I think that is also one of the reasons why I was so attracted to your aura as a person, because I feel like that sometimes too. Like I just want to move and I don't care what people think about how it looks. And you're the same way. I watch you on Instagram, girl. You be getting I'll be like, okay, now I don't want to break my hip. But if I could just roll it like that,
I refuse to like let the what do I want to talk about? Age. Oh,
yeah, let's not talk about it. Age was gonna come up because women.
So funny because I moderated this panel for Actor Age, which is the new show on Bounce with Tisha Campbell, Kim Whitley, and Yvette Nicole Brown.
Oh, I love all of them.
Oh my God, they're amazing. And it's a comedy with the three of them. It's the throuple we never knew we needed. And the whole thing is about women in their second chapter. And it was the first time I admitted publicly. It was a big room filled with people. And I was like, people want to put the age thing on us so much. Like, well, you're over this or you're over. Like, first of all, I don't subscribe to it. It means nothing. Yeah. Nothing. But then I had to go, what a privilege it is to make it to this age. What a privilege it is to look this damn good.
Because girl, you look good.
I mean, and I'm not taking it there. I'm not arrogant at all. I'm just saying,
but looking like that, you should be a little arrogant. You should, because you should just lean in and be like, all this right here, baby. Yes, get into it. That part. I'm a firm believer in don't deny your beauty. It's one thing to be arrogant and think that you're better than someone, but this is not about anybody else other than you. And I don't think there's anything wrong with recognizing that.
I love you for that. Thank you. Because I'm Aquarius. We air signs are very interesting. And I try to say, please value me outside of my hair and outside of whatever you see here. Can I be loved for that? And so it's complicated. I'm dealing with some generational trauma. It's all those things that I'm more interested in today than what so-and-so is doing on Saturday on the red carpet. Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Now, does that come with just as age, like not age as in getting older, but age as in getting wiser about life, about the true understanding of just how short it really is. And I don't think you know that until you start to get older. And that's when you begin to prioritize more. You're a mother, you're raising a daughter who, by the way, is also clearly, I don't know how you have two unicorns, because it seems like that kind of cancels the other one out, but she is your daughter. And I get no greater joy than watching how you pour into her magical childlike mind. And I don't think that we as Black people, I'm not going to just put it on the Black mothers, because I think Black fathers do it as well.
Yeah.
I think we grow up so much with hearing, don't do that, sit over there. No, 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 you can't do that. Act this way, act that way, that we never really get to live and stretch outside of our skin. But I watch your munchkin, and baby, she is stretching and moving. And I think it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Thank you. And I've made some intentional moves to do that. And I've had a lot of people ask me. And from day one, I filled my house with pictures like that. Can you see that?
I can. Oh, that's gorgeous.
That's painted or that's drawn by Shaka Khan.
Are you kidding?
Drawn by Shaka Khan. And I'm like, that's me and my baby.
Oh
So,
my
yes,
God. And it is.
Shaka can draw. And when
I didn't even know that.
No, I directed this 1 hour doc series on her and got really close. And so I realized at an early age, because she has a complicated relationship with her daughter because she was busy. And I realized, and this also goes to the job thing, my daughter was 2 or 3 when I went back to extra for a couple years. And what I know for sure is that parenting is a full-time fucking job. Full time. What I know for sure is where I felt like I didn't have my parents' emotional support, that they didn't nurture me as far as the person I am, but they tried to nurture a person that I wasn't, the person they wanted me to be. So I learned from my own trauma, I need to know who my child is and nurture her from there. I need to be intentional and put Black love everywhere up in this house. It's not a show house. It is our sanctuary of self-love, of being able to know that this is our safe space where we see reflection of ourselves, period. When we walk out, the world is beautiful. But at home, we're going to feed ourselves. We're going to support ourselves. We're going to nurture ourselves. So all of that.
I think that's beautiful. I think because what I've come to know, at least for me, because I also have what I, as an adult person, can now call trauma that I didn't realize that's what it was between me and the mother that raised me. I call her mama, and my biological mother, I call her mother. Well, both of them dead now, so I don't call them at all, except for my prayers. But it took me some growing to realize that my mama also had trauma, and so the only thing that she could do was traumatize me, right? And I had to learn how to unpack that. And I will tell you, I read an article where you talked about being scared about being a mother. Now, I got pregnant very early, too early to understand the fear that I would face later as to whether or not I'd want to have more kids, because I now, as an adult, understood what I did not want to pass on to my daughter or my son, that I could potentially have. And so I read that you were also afraid about being a mother. Was it because of your relationship with your parents?
100%. So I've been on Red Table Talk talking about this with Jada. It was over a book called Mother Hunger. Now, it's no secret. I'm pretty transparent about everything, as you know. I do not have the relationship I would desire with my mother. And I am very clear about all the issues that we had. As a grown-ass person, I'm like, oh yeah, I see that, I see that, I see that. And I am very clear about not passing. I fail every day because our parents condition us, right? By either directly or indirectly. So there are things that I am triggered by that I would have no idea would trigger me until I'm in the moment.
Yeah.
Right. So my daughter, I'm trying to think of an example. There's no example.
Because I was just about to ask you, what's a trigger for you? What kind of things trigger you?
So many. Oh, what a big trigger is breaking something and not telling me. That triggers me like nobody's business.
You just spoke to my soul.
And then I have to discover it somewhere. That is. And I think that there's a lot of scenarios where I'm her and where she is me and I'm my mother. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes total sense.
Where like, if you've seen a movie and the scene comes up and then it blurs into the past because they're so parallel, that's what I I experience a lot.
Wow.
And I find myself on autopilot becoming my mom, and then looking at my daughter, and then something hits me with, I guess it's my therapy and all that, where I see her as my inner child, my little me. And then I go, oh, I got to do something different. Because I'm on autopilot responding to something I would have never known would have triggered me. But I was on the child side of it when it was a problem with my mother.
Right.
So now that I'm the adult, how can I change that exchange so that my daughter doesn't grow up having these same conversations about my mom just didn't understand me?
Yeah. I think it's interesting. First of all, getting back to the whole age thing, of course, you and I both being in entertainment, age is a big thing. It's something that you just don't talk about. You don't want anybody to ask you your age. And I don't think it's being embarrassed as much as I think how it will limit your career and your potential, because no matter how young you look for your age, or no matter how good you look, or whatever it is that they say nowadays, as soon as they hear a number, everything after that doesn't matter, because that's all
Right.
that they can see, right? But I will say there are many beautiful things that I am finding about aging. One of them is a learning that some things that I thought were bad that my mama actually poured into me would be bad if I drank them without the potion that I need to make it go down better. Whether it's therapy, whether it is understanding, whether it is having read more things to help me understand the mental psyche of someone who had also been traumatized, right? So when I see myself, as I think most women have said, I don't want to be nothing like my mama. I'm never gonna. And then in the heat of the moment, in the middle of something, there you are sounding like your mama. And I think it's a natural thing. But I think, just like you said, when you know better, you do better. So you have those tools that seep in that tell you, okay, be careful, because words really do hurt. And they will be things that will, haunt her for the rest of her life.
It's so
Right?
easy to haunt our children. And I just want to piggyback on what you said. That reminded me of Clubhouse. I want to piggyback on what you said about trauma. Just to be clear, if you are brown in America, you've got trauma. Okay, period. There's no if, there's no, well, let me think. That word, by the way, I was in a woman's group. I'm always working. I'm always studying. I'm so fascinated by human nature. And now I'm even more so about, okay, let me break down all my shit, If they're tools that we have to use. And as a culture, we shy away from it because the narrative is just go to church. Well, sis, there are so many. Why would we limit ourselves to one thing when there are thousands of ways that we can heal? Why?
Yep.
Why do we Black people?
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, Jasmine has done work on herself and has healed a lot of demons. I have done work on myself and healed demons. I mean, the trauma, the stuff, the petty shit we won't let go. That it's like unfucking ourselves, right?
Petty Peggy over here. That's me. I
You
am
gotta let
so
it go.
petty, but I'm a Scorpio too. I'm a Scorpio to the bone. But
Oh, why did I think you were Libra? Oh, Scorpio. Yeah, you Scorpio girl.
yes, I got a lot of demons in me, but I pray about them all the time. And I think it's a couple of things that are bothering me now, and I'd be curious to know what really, as I don't know if you watch Family Guy, but Peter says that really grinds my gears. But I'd be curious to know what grinds your gears. I can tell you what really grinds mine at the moment, and that is I am sick and tired of being dissected on social media. Really, truth be told, in my mind, social media is a lot like church. You got a lot of preachers who think they have all the right answers. And even though they're not really preachers in the sense of the biblical sense, I think just like a pastor does when they stand up over their flock, right? So as a social media person, you're over your flock of followers, and there you are pointing, calling out all of the bad things about Black women, about women in relationships, and how we fucking everything up. I am so sick of that shit. I'm just sick of it.
One of my favorite, forever, all my brain does is go, doth protest too much, Negro, doth protest too much.
Way too much.
And we know, first of all, we know in the world, who's the problematic person. And it's not a
Yeah.
race, it's men. Let's fucking stop. There are men right now trying to make rape legal. I think they made it legal in a lot of states, trying to make lynching legal, trying to take, literally in Florida, they want to take Latin studies, Black studies, Jewish studies, women's studies. The problem is white men.
Let me add one more thing to that list that's really going to piss you off, having a young girl. And thank God you guys are in California. Also in Florida, they are going to make it illegal for young girls to talk about their periods. How the hell you think you got here? And you don't want to talk about my reproductive system?
I'm trying to explain that the foolishness is next level.
It's next level.
Survive in a world of foolishness. Well, we got to get our shit together, right? And so this is what I do my podcast. I'm so happy with my podcast and excited to grow it. I do a podcast called Mama Stay. You've got to come on. It literally centers around women who have had babies come out of their vag, because there's something different about us. We have to look at the world. We don't ever get the ability to be selfish from that second forward. Whereas even if we are co-parenting, you know, dads are like, oh, but I'm busy that day. Can I see her the next? It's like, look, I don't have the privilege to say I'm going to mommy on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're the only ones that are strapped lovingly and happily, but we no longer can think as one solo person. I literally have to think like a group in every single decision. If you've got multiple kids, that's 3 people you got to think about. So it's a fascinating place to be. I think when we are seeing so much ugly, all the places we got to do the work. And so
I totally agree.
I'm an activist. I'm a womanist. I'm a feminist. I want us all to win. And so whatever I can do, is this real?
Yeah, hold on one second. It's telling me to, how do I do it, Lena? For some reason, I'm trying to do how do I do this?
What does it say doing?
Hold on.
I need glasses. All I see is it says time left 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to figure out how to, because I don't really do Zoom. So can you do just one license, choose the plan? You can do pro if you want to. Just something, just so I can keep going.
Are you recording? Oh, you are.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, if we get cut off, I'll just link to you and I can send you the recording worst case scenario, or she can.
Oh, no, I think we have it. I'm just trying to continue. Can you stop? I'm doing it and you're doing it. I just want, that's fine. I don't know.
Do you wear those shoes back there?
I do. Not often. Today's charge. Continue.
I'm giving my away.
US dollars. Yeah, you know what though? Hold on one second. Give me 2 seconds to try to figure out why it won't let me go to my payment. Create. Oh, do I have an account? Do I need that?
You sign on. I would just sign on.
Maybe it was personal. I did that. There we go. I think I got it. Okay. And then I don't know what that means. We can go in and change all of this later, right?
Yeah.
Continue, because I don't know. I don't know. This
Lance Reddick. Oh, from The Wire.
Skips this step. Accept.
Well, you have an account already.
I do. So how do I?
Do you go to the website?
No, oh, there we go. Have an account, sign in.
I know what y'all might be thinking.
Oh, no.
The doctor that I was expecting. My name is Stacey J. Johnson. I'm a relationship coach with
You know what the password is? That's it?
Yeah, it should be that one.
I know what y'all
How do
might
you
be.
do it with my finger then?
The doctor that I was.
I don't. I just have it automatically on my phone.
Say not now. What happened?
Should we just go and see if it cuts us? Because sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it does. But
oh, there it was. Was that it? Sign in, check in now.
No.
I don't know what just happened. I guess it should keep going, I think.
We'll see. Can we link back? Can you just edit them together? Worst case scenario?
Where
do you air this?
Well, believe it or not, initially I was just doing it on, did you do it in Just My Talents or Jasmine Speaks?
Jasmine, wait,
Okay.
I'm
I
sure.
know, it's hold on.
If
hold
you
on.
go to Zoom, you could sign in with your actual Gmail account if you go to zoom.com. And sign in. And then just put Gmail. I don't know, just
Yeah, but that would have been my Gmail, no?
no.
Now how am I gonna sign her over? How do I do that?
No. Once you pay, you should be able to.
Why is it not working?
So you gotta change over because I used to pay for it before.
Yeah, but
Did it stop you?
I don't know. Ugh. Could have, I think it did. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. I don't think this has anything to do with this though. It still should have went through.
Well, you didn't tell me what was
It
the
doesn't matter.
issue.
What do you mean? What was the issue?
Yeah,
I was hitting continue and it wouldn't go forward. It just was stopping. So I was trying to figure out why it wouldn't, but I think it's doing something now. I just don't know what.
but you could, if you want, you could end that session and start.
I think it ended itself.
What?
Oh no, it's still there. I thought it ended. I was gonna say I thought it ended itself. Why is it taking so long?
No, we're here. Technology's a bitch.
It
sometimes.
is.
But now that we have to do so much, I mean, you were always doing stuff with radio, but honey, I was on that next to that microphone with like, what? That's all I do is talk. I got to do other things now. Shit.
Do you have to edit the change?
No,
Comments?
I'm going to hold on.
No, I'm just trying to help.
I got you. Just hold on. What is it? 165? This one? Oh, this one is. Let me just change it to the other one because I know that one. Is it 165?
Yes.
Oh, you're kidding me. I think this one may.
I know what y'all might be thinking.
Oh, that's interesting. Why is he looking that way? It's weird.
What happened? Is it on my end? You see something different?
Girl, I'm talking to myself.
Okay. You sound like me.
I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at this vibe cover with the cast of power.
Okay, great. So then this will keep going, right?
It should. Just press allow.
Is it
Yeah, it's still
still?
going.
Girl, that was gonna drive me crazy.
It says the meeting has been upgraded by the host. All right. Look at
She's
y'all.
upgrader.
Look at y'all. Yeah, I don't know what you guys just did, but I record like 2 hours and I don't have that. So
Do you pay the subscription?
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I didn't have a subscription because I don't use Zoom often. I use Ecamm, but I just upgraded just so I can do unlimited. But I was
Right.
gonna say I would love to come on your podcast, and in turn, I want you to come on my podcast. I have a podcast called "Don't Tell Me to Shut Up,"
How
and it is
triggering.
because being a woman in this business, and you know this, people are constantly telling you to shushy or be quiet or don't say that or don't act that way. And my thing is, hey, don't tell me to shut up or don't tell
Especially
me
as a
to shut up.
woman. They
I
love
love
telling
it.
women to stop
Yeah.
talking. We don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
I
For
actually,
sure.
you know what's amazing to do is to watch kids because that dynamic starts early. So when you have a young child, you learn, honey, you see how much the world tries to manipulate your child. Like my daughter today is dressed in green for St. Patrick's Day because that's what we do. And I'm like, I don't even know what St. Patrick's Day is when you really think about it. It's a great holiday, but it has nothing to do with us. But I understand the same way we want people to acknowledge Black History Month, we're going to give some love back on St. Patrick's Day. My daughter went in, have you ever seen Descendants?
Yeah.
She went as China. So it's like, just because it's green in there.
Yeah.
Just random stuff.
Yeah.
But you realize how much the world trains you, and you see how they tell the boys that they should go first. It's crazy. So
something else about kids, I would love to know who you were, or do you know who you were before your trauma? Like as a kid, do you know who you were? And and does that person show up now in your everyday life?
No.
Not at all.
I don't think so. I think that trauma becomes just an extra layer of skin. It seeps into the membrane of your skin. So you wear it every single day. And sometimes it's hard to go, where do I peel this off? And you don't even know it's there to peel off. Right?
Wow. I think that's interesting. I've never looked at it that way. I've never looked at it that way. That is pretty interesting. And I think if you're a Scorpio like myself, you wear a skin that you wear another skin on top of.
Yeah, the Scorpio's hard shell too.
I feel like you're talking about me.
I am. And
I feel like you're telling the truth about me. It is true.
I feel like when we were downing, and it wasn't mimosas. I love that you gave us a classy drink with champagne. We were downing some margaritas. Okay, sis? We were downing margaritas.
That's my girl.
And it's so funny because I don't even drink anymore. Like,
you don't? I mean, I don't drink anymore either. I just don't drink any less.
You get points for that. Well played.
So let me ask you this. The decision to not drink, was that COVID? Was it during the pandemic, or was it just something that you felt was good for you in terms of healing?
Are you kidding? Pandemic was the dumbest time not to be drinking alcohol, but I wasn't drinking.
You weren't?
No.
Meanwhile, I was drunk every day. I wasn't drunk. That's not true, but I was drinking a lot.
I mean, I wasn't doing nothing, but I wasn't drinking.
Okay? Got it.
I mean, the thing is that this is the overall message that I have for where I've been since leaving leaving. I was on television last year. I'm not turning down television jobs. I'm just not like, where's my agent and calling? I'm letting the universe sort it out, as it often does. The chapters will morph and change. But I got a message. You know the medical medium? Do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
The medical medium is a guy with no medical experience. Zero. He downloads information from the universe and heals people, sis.
Hold on. You sure you're not drinking?
No drinks. None. Not
Wait
even
a minute, because that sounded like something that you would make up. So let me get this straight. He downloads information from the universe and does what with that information? He uses it to heal you?
He heals, and I don't just mean oh, you have an autoimmune disease. Well, you need to eat this and not drink this or this. And he heals you in ways doctors cannot figure it out. See, I'm a unicorn who believes in magic, bitch. I am not the one that's like, there's only one way to do it. I refuse to believe that.
What has he healed
levels.
you from? What has he healed you from? Now, I did watch you were drinking celery juice a lot. I remember that. And I thought, oh my Lord, bless her soul. I've had celery juice. It's not the most tasty thing. I just can't do it.
Oh, I love it. You got to make it at home.
I'll try.
You got to make it. Let me tell you why. Because celery's dirty.
It's
so
dirty.
if you get it at Whole Foods, trust me, that person cleaning it don't give a damn if there's a bug or two in there.
Because he don't like his job.
He don't care. When you're at home, honey, I'll be rubbing it and cutting off the brown parts. Like, it's delicious. It's
so
sweeter.
What did he heal you? What did he heal you?
Hey,
what did he heal you of?
So I was having this weird thing on my hand. Like, I will send you pictures. Like, I'm talking blisters, weird stuff. And I went to all these doctors and nobody knew what it was. Not one person. Dermatologist, we don't know. And this guy just happened to come to the show one day. Mind you, he's worked with the Kardashians. He's worked with Goop. So he's got this celebrity following. He came and he did a scan, like literally, you know what?
His hand.
And he's like, there's something going on with your liver. And I showed him my hands and he's like, there's something going with your liver. You need to drink celery juice every day and you need to stop drinking. And I was like, it felt so truthful. I was like, cool. And now I don't have anything on my hands.
Oh my goodness.
So what I want to really explain to people is that your body is constantly talking to you. And I think as a culture, we have been, or as society, we've been told, ignore that. You know, they want to put us on pills. They want to hop us up on prescriptions. And my prescription that healed me was celery juice.
Celery juice.
Not drinking and changing my diet.
It's that not drinking that gets me every time. No. But it makes sense. I will say that I laugh and giggle and tell jokes about drinking a lot. I really don't drink a ton. I really don't. But even the amount that I was drinking now during the pandemic, I drank way too much every day. Oh. Every day was a wine day. I was like, because I got to figure out what's happening. Are we in the matrix? Are we going to make it out? Like it was a lot going on. And so I was drinking to really numb that. So that those 6 girls in my head, I didn't want them talking. And, so, but I cut that out. Well, I cut it down. Let me be honest. But what I did see was I lost a ton of weight. I didn't realize how much weight I was carrying that was those margaritas and that tequila and that wine and this and that. And, I did not stop drinking, but I cut it back and I was shocked at how much weight I lost.
Yeah. And how much better you feel. It's amazing. I just want people to understand the mind-body connection is something that we all should be focused on securing because your body is giving you messages every single day.
And speaking of mind, let me ask you something. I love to hear what people say to this. What makes you cry? Like what really just like gets to you to the point that it like a gut-wrenching cry, not one single tear, but like what makes you cry these days?
Being misunderstood. Being misunderstood is something from my childhood. I grew up in a family where 3 people were very similar. My brother, my mom, and my dad, and I was the unicorn. And I was never understood. So if I'm having this conversation here about, I decided not to drink because of the medical community. Oh, that's stupid. That's silly. They're very pragmatic. They're very like regular. And I was like, there's something else. So not being understood for just like the wholeness of who I am is very frustrating. And when I'm frustrated, I cry.
And how does that manifest itself? Because I don't know about you. I used to be tired of people asking me, are you single? Are you dating? And And I was like, you know what? Will you stop asking me that question? What I'm doing is living and I'm having a good time. And I understand that a lot of those things, like being misunderstood, show up in relationships. How does that show up in your relationships? Be it with a romantic relationship, well, whatever it is that you're into, romantic relationship, friendship, or whatever. How does that manifest itself there?
Well, I think who you are at the core is always really important to hold on to, right? So I know who I am. After a lot of work, without taking off all the bullshit, I know who I am. And if somebody has an issue with the fact that I want the best, but it doesn't, I don't value myself based on the things that I have, right? So that's really hard to date in today's age, is that I value experiences, I value time together. I don't value things so much. I actually started giving things away. That's like part of my healing for myself and really standing firm in who it is that I think I am. And so dating people, when a lot of men want to woo you with things. And I'm like, that's great. You have money. What else? Can we dive a little deeper? That is not a relationship. That's an arrangement, right? I buy you something, you're my girlfriend. Versus, and it's like any reality dating show. What else is there? I want a true connection with somebody.
Yeah. And being a TV personality or just being on TV, I feel like it would be like a reality show all the time. Because even when the cameras aren't rolling, they are rolling in the form of whomever it is that you're dating or somebody who sees you. Do you still have that kind of fear? Because people still know who you are. So when you're out or, if you're with somebody, or maybe you're just trying to, get a little sneaky link, sneak around,
You're
and somebody gonna see it. You're like, damn, shit. Tell my business.
I forget that people, I was on TV. I forget, to be honest. I really do.
You're royalty. You're royalty.
No. Because you will find me, I either look homeless or I look glam. Like right now it's kind of in the middle, but like I can be at the grocery store like, it's not you. Because I parented all day. I got shit to do. I'm trying to run a business, like so much. So I think that I forget. And if people are watching, the only time I was really conscious, this is going to sound horrible, fucking horrible.
It won't. I'm sure it'll sound amazing and it'll probably make total sense to me.
The only time I was super conscious is when I dated a white guy. Because I felt people's eyes on me.
Oh.
And this is when I was on TV every day. Like the internet just started, I couldn't walk down the street. And I was dating a white guy. So I can feel people like.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like I guess in stages, right? Because there was a time when it was so taboo. Black men could date white women. And, they wouldn't get the same eye except from the sisters, right? Everybody else was cool with it. Then there was a time where, well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure there was ever a time up until the last couple of years with the millennials and the Gen Zers and whatnot.
They don't care now.
They don't care. They don't care. They date they date anything and anybody. They think everything is good. And hey, if they like it, I love it. It is what it is. But I feel like, and I've had this argument a gazillion times to the point where I feel like my veins are going to bulge out of my neck. And that is, Black men have always dated white women. Always. Not all of them, but they've always done it. And, I've always said, you have to look at it from our perspective. There was a time when the Black men didn't want us, the white men didn't want us, and we didn't really know what the fuck to do. It was like, okay, I got all this goodness, but nobody wants it. A white dude is too afraid or just isn't really into me, depending on what you look like, right? And then I felt like there was this shift. I don't know. I'm not even going to put it on the shoulders of Serena, because there were other Black women who were dating white men before that. But I feel like it's just been recently that you don't really get the stares that you used to. And even now, and I will be completely honest, I would date a white guy. I don't have an issue with that. I dated a white guy before. Well, I didn't date him. We went on a couple of dates. And let me tell you why I didn't go out with him anymore.
Tell me.
I didn't know what the fuck to talk about. I was like, I don't know what we should be talking about, because all of my innuendos and my jokes, he ain't gonna get none of that shit. And I feel uncomfortable. And it was the first and the only time in my life that I felt, I don't want to say insecure, but I felt unsure because I was like, I want to talk the way I normally talk. And I want to say, oh my God, and I was like, well, I can't say that. I can't make references to the cookout because he ain't gonna know what I'm talking about. And I felt so uncomfortable. I was like, I can't go out with him again.
But that's it. See, I love breaking that shit down right there, because what is that telling you? That relationships are best when you have a lot more in common, right? So it isn't a white black, it's how you walk through the world.
Correct.
So when Black men are with white women, oftentimes they're asked indirectly to let go of their Blackness, right? Because they're not dating Black women because they don't want to look at they don't want to acknowledge their Blackness all day and night.
Correct.
But when they date a white woman, they can assimilate into the society that they want us to all to live in without having to remind them, we Black, we love being Black, our skin's so beautiful, we look young,
loud, and we this and we that. We gonna do all of that.
They don't to become them with brown skin. That is the goal. That would make them so happy. But what I've realized with even dating Black men, I've dated a lot of Black men who came from the hood. Well, I didn't come from the hood. And I really thought I can make that work. And what I realized is it's too much. You cannot. Because even my references about, oh my God, my dad he will not let me grow up. He gave me money on all my dates when I was a kid. The guy I'm dating is like, what's the problem? Right. There's no connection. And so that's the lesson. But the reason why I was mortified by people watching was this white guy really wanted to have displays of affection out in the world, which was unusual. Most Black guys are like, I might be with her, I might not. The white guy was like, I'm choosing you. And I was like, what do I do? And I don't know if I'm into
PDA and whatnot and all the other stuff. Yeah.
I would say pink dick, but yes, I don't know. By the way, for all my sisters who are on the fence, because of the pink D, he put it down.
Did he? Because I was about to ask you, is the PD different? Is it different?
He put it down.
Now I've not had the PD. Now I'm looking into it, but I've not had it. And I didn't
look at it. I did not get visual confirmation. I think it wasn't as pink as I thought it was. Really?
Let me find out that the D is brown, kind of like our knees are. Some of us who have dark knees and elbows, maybe down there.
I'm gonna give you some TV references. Remember, there was a Housewives of Atlanta. No, Mary. What show is that child on? The guy. She's a singer. She's an actress. What's her name? Candace's husband. No,
I don't know. I don't watch reality TV. It makes my heart palpitate.
Well, on Potomac, Candace has a white husband, and he talks about his.
I do know who that is, though. I know who that is.
His dick is brown, apparently.
What? How is that even possible?
Some of them got melanated eggplants. I don't know. I know.
How in the world? How do you explain that chocolate bar? Literally and figuratively,
it's amazing. Because what scared me was I love Sex and the City. We all grew up on Sex and the City. Yes. And I remember Samantha. I found this episode where she is like, oh, I'm so excited for his perfect pink dick. And I was like, and it was confusing, right? For us, it's confusing. That's abnormal. That dick is pink. It's all the things. Yes.
Now, this is what I want to know. I got to know this. I got to know this because, this is girl talk. This is some good girl talk. So having had a lover on both sides, right? So because there's so much discussion about, is there a difference in terms of are they more tender? Because here's the thing, superficially speaking, and from a materialistic standpoint, I believe overall sisters have this vision of white men doing things like buying roses and actually saying, I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to, and I just want, very verbal and communicating and loving and all of that. And Black men tend to be not as sensitive, not as, you don't really hear I'm sorry that much. And when you do, it's like, my bad, whatever, right? But is there a difference in the way that they make love?
I've only I've only dated one guy.
I mean, it only take one. It only take one to know. I mean, a little bit. I mean, because
he did make a charcuterie platter. I was like, are those strawberries?
Oh, the way I just fainted. I love that. Oh, that is hilarious. Girl, you are a delight. I knew you was on my list for a reason. You know, I just adore you. I really do. And again, I think for me, it's so funny in a selfish way, me doing these woman to woman conversations, because you know what it is. You know, we can be isolated in our industries, and because of what we do, I don't know about you, but I feel like a lot of times I'm out here by myself because it's such a big industry, but it's so small and so many people are so insecure that, you know, we can't do this because you might want something from me, or you might want what I have. And so I spend a lot of time by myself. And so for very selfish reasons, I wanted to reach out to or reacquaint with people that I know I've met and I've hung out with, and I know we share the same kind of energy, just to kiki and giggle. But the one thing I will say that I want to make sure that I do, because it is true, another reason is to make sure that the women that I have met hear from me personally to say, you fucking rock. Whether I ever get to hang out with you as often as I'd like to, just know that I see you, I watch you, I am cheering and rooting for you. It gives me great joy when you turn the music on and baby, you are twirling. And I was like, yes, that is my spirit animal. When I see the time that you spend with your daughter, and it makes me, it heals something in me, because I didn't have that relationship with my mama either. And so I thought, you know what, for the month of March, it's in my spirit. And I don't believe that God or the universe gives you things without a good reason. And I feel like far too often we as Black women walk through life like shadows, never really being seen. I see you. I appreciate you. I adore you. The energy that you bring and the level of positivity. You're the fucking best, girl. You're the fucking best.
And I, you know, I love you, and we don't spend enough time together, but life be lifing. And it's also the exact same reason why I did my podcast, Mama Stay. I wanted to bring moms together. Let's have a safe place to be my kid. But I also want to brag about what I do right. I fit this hack out. I got a mommy hack. You know, I celebrity moms. I interview moms of celebrities like Yara Shahidi's mom and Michael Michelle's mom. Like really dope people. We got Tabitha coming up. Cherie Zampino, Will Smith's first wife, is going to drop next Tuesday. So we are just we want to collect. And what I throw events too. I swear you were invited. Where were you?
I don't know. Girl, life be lifing.
You got to send me your email, because I'm dedicated to throwing in-person events this year to bring, because when we gather, we change the world.
We do. And history has shown that. And even this, what I'm doing, this movement, I am trying to get it to the point where, you know, I want to do it just even outside of March, because I think that 30 days is just not enough to celebrate the people that you bump into. I think we bump into people for a reason, and you walk away with something. Like I said, I think even the one thing that social media does for me, and I don't know if it is intentional or just the algorithm, I don't know what to blame it on, but sometimes when I'm scrolling, I see exactly what I need to see. Whether I'm having a day where I want to cuss a person out so bad, and I see you dancing, I'm like, okay, give it to me, girl, because I need this energy right here. I think all of that is intentional.
Jasmine, please, for your audience out there, do not under amplify the point that our Instagram feed, when we curate it properly, it is always serving us. Exactly what you said. I can be like, I can think of something, God, what should I? And scroll, and the answer's there. I know it depends on who you're following. Stop following shenanigans, and you won't invite shenanigans into your life.
We learned it when we were kids. You are what you eat.
Yes.
And that also means not just in your mouth, but in your brain, in
physically,
your energy.
mentally.
So if you following bullshit, you bullshit. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. And so leaving television, I don't have the time for all that. I'm not interested. Yay, I didn't get triggered by Kanye shenanigans. I was like, he gonna do what he's gonna do next. I don't have time. Y'all,
Yeah.
we don't have the time.
We don't. But that to me is the golden ticket. That is the secret. That is the understanding that while you are busy in other people's business, watching them do ridiculous shit, your time is winding up. And you will look up and you will be fucking 75 years old thinking, where did time go? Let me tell you where it went. All the wrong places. You watched other people live their lives and now yours is over.
It's
Won't be
so
me.
easy to do that. Before it used to be just people looking out their window. Now you can world. It's
Yeah.
so addicting. It's now an addiction, right?
It is. It's
And
sad.
I'm healed from it. I look at Instagram. Look at it's right here. I look
Yeah.
at it all.
Yeah.
But I also, if I don't feel like posting, I see that as like revolution. I don't want to post today. During Christmas, I don't think I posted for 2 weeks. And I had to be okay. I didn't feel like it. And the reason why I'm not an influencer, Jasmine, is because sometimes I don't want to talk to y'all.
Yeah. Sometimes I don't want to influence you. Sometimes I want to use the products I use. Get your own products. Okay. You figure that shit out. I figured it out. You figure it out. But the other thing is, I think what it is doing is it is creating clones. There's a reason why everybody doesn't have curly hair. There's a reason why everybody doesn't have the same skin complexion. We weren't meant to be a monolith. We were meant to be different. So I don't want to wear the same clothes that you wear. I don't want to rock this out designer because you're rocking it and you're telling me it's popular. I don't like how it fits me. I don't like how I look in it. And that to me is all about my individuality. And I love it. I might put on sweatpants and some high heel boots. Leave me alone. That's what I felt like.
And rock it.
And rock it.
Rock it.
I
I'm
might
the
put on
same
some
way.
cowboy boots. That's what I felt like. I was a cowboy that day. It was what it was, a cowgirl. And I think social media is making us all feel like we have to be the same. And we don't.
No.
So yeah.
I don't celebrate that at all. And what I call that, wait, what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh, I call that I'm a method dresser.
A method dresser.
Whatever mood I'm in, honey, I'm committed.
I love it.
All the way.
I love
All the way.
it. A girl, thank you so much. I just appreciate you. I love you dearly, even though from a distance, we in the same hood. We in the same hood. I'm going to make sure you have my email. I'm going to come to those in-person events. We're going to turn up together because I think for me, at least, just the revelation of what life really is all about and the most important things. For me, it makes me feel like it's the best time of my life. Yes. I'm so glad to be here. I'm so glad that I'm smarter than I was last year. All of those things.
Yeah, it was your crowd. These in person. Melinda Williams from Soul Food spoke. I had women to each other. Oh. That's what it's about. We miss this. Like we go to a lot of Hollywood events, and I gotta tell you, they're not my favorite.
They're not my favorite either. I don't go to them for that reason. They're not my favorite. I don't like the fakeness. I don't like you're too cute to hug and the air kiss. Don't air kiss.
All of it.
Don't do that.
It's not my jam. But so I want to create these opportunities for us to gather. That's not dependent on how many followers, whether or not you're famous. I just happen to be connecting with people like Ananda, people who are really truly doing this spiritual work to push our culture forward. Really push it forward. Real spiritual work and mindfulness, not that fake shit in Hollywood, right?
Yes. Put me on that list, girl. I'm down.
I will. Send me